Alright, welcome guys to another video. In this video, we are going to talk about how your Forex broker is manipulating you or potentially manipulating you every time you hit that buy and sell button. So the first thing we need to look at is we need to look at the type of account that you guys are trading with. There is something referred to as an ECN, and an ECN, it is where a broker sends your order to a liquidity provider, and they make their money from the spread, meaning the bid and the ask, in a traditional sense. The B book, all right, is where your orders go to a client, and I think a lot of us fall in this category, and I'll show you why in just a minute. I'm going to open this thing up and show you what your brokers see and some crazy things surrounding how they manipulate us. So the B book is when a trader submits a trade and it goes to the client does whatever he wants to the trade and then sends it to the broker, and then the broker sends it to the provider. So A book and B book is what you guys will see in maybe one of these screenshots I'm about to share with you. I haven't really shared this with anybody. I kind of assumed people knew this already. So let's see. The first thing we need to talk about is, let me show you this. This is Ubridge or Ubridge Manager. I don't know if that's a company, but it's Ubridge on MT4 platform. This is a user guide or a user manual. And if you go through this user manual, you'll notice that there are several tools that the broker has. They have a manager, or they have their own platform. So they know everything about everything. So of course, and that's fair because we are trading with that broker's information. We are using that broker. We're trading with their numbers. But what we don't quite understand is how they use the information that they have, and we probably still don't understand. Well, we understand why as well, because they want to make money. But this just shows us, and I found this online. You can go out there and look at this as well. But as you can see here, it says B book controls, order controls. So inside of this, we can come in here, or they can come in here. I don't have access to this, but they can come in here and they can manipulate price and do a lot of other stuff. So let me flip over to another screenshot here, which is this screenshot of the MetaTrader Manager. Now take a very close look at this. Login, name, group, country, city, email, your balance, your margin levels, the pair you're trading, your lot sizes, how many lots you're selling, buying, your net lots, profit. They know everything about you, and it's possible that they could filter this from the balance section, or possibly filter this from the margin of level, and filter this from the level of margin and watch somebody or sort this to see who's who has the highest margin, or who's closer to a margin call, and move the market in that direction and wipe everybody out. So you may say, well, can they manipulate price? Absolutely, and I'm about to show you that in a minute, because this is just a screenshot that I took online, but this is the actual user manual, and I think it also includes that screenshot. There's a margin window. Alright, so what we want to look at here, I think it's on page 24. Look at this, dealer. So there's something called a dealing desk, or a dealer's desk, and that is where the dealer can manipulate price, and I'm going to show you that. I was looking for, so there's something else called an administrator, MetaTrader administrator, or administration, one of those. I can't remember. But I was looking for a user manual for that, because it works with this, in conjunction with this, but I could not find it. So let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll jump over and talk about the other. So if you place a trade, alright, so let me just tell you what these buttons do, and it's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. Let me tell you what these buttons do right here. if you place a trade, let's just say for 1.2547, let's say that you're placing a sell trade and this is the bid price. So let's say that you're selling. You want to sell at 1.2547 because that's where price is on your chart. You hit the sell button to put the order through. All right. They can come here and they can say send confirm and everything is fine. It goes through as normal, just like you wanted it to. But if they hit this return button and they can dictate how far this drops, they can instantly rob you of 7 pips. They can put you into the trade at 1.2540 and rob you of 7 pips. So if the price is at 1.2547 and you're entering the market on the sell position at 1.2540, somebody is getting those pips. And we can just say, you know, I think this is the last digit. This may just be the counter that counts up to 10 before this rolls over. But you get what I'm saying. You know, they can enter the market like at 37 and you entered at 47, and then they would take those 10 pips. They would literally rob you of those 10 pips. And that is referred to as slippage. And they can do that when you not only place a trade, they can do that when you exit a trade at a profit or at a loss. And I'm going to show you the configuration screen for those settings in just a second. All right, another thing they can do, remember, this is just if they want to put it through like it is. Another thing they can do is if they don't like your price, or if they are freezing the market, and I'm going to show you that as well and explain it. But if they're doing something shady behind the scenes and you're trying to execute a trade, they can reject your trade. And you know what it will tell you when they reject your trade? It is going to say something to the effect of off quotes. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen that message, but that is what that means. When they hit this button that says reject, it generates a message that says off quotes. And it has happened to me several times. All right. So real quick, before we look at the configurations right here, which is the delays and what we talked about the slippage, I want to explain to you guys that because of this slippage and the way they can control this slippage and they can control these delays, trying to scalp the Forex market for, like, let's just say 1 or 2 pips is almost, you know, it's almost impossible. Okay, because what you would in a sense have to do, you're looking for 1 to 2 pips, but in reality it has to move 5 or 6 pips just for you to get 1 or 2 pips, because you have all these odds stacked against you. And you know, I had that idea that I can just place 100 trades in a day, take possibly, let's just say 50 cents, I think it was at the time, 50 cents to $1 on every single position, and over the course of a day, that adds up to close to $100 or a little more than $100 depending upon how things worked. And I tried that multiple times, and this was back in 2017. And I'm going to, I believe I have the let me see if I can bring up the screenshots for you. All right, so this is my account statement from February. I'm in my email address. You can see this is my account statement. I let it load from February 22nd of 2017. All right, and I was trying all kind of stuff back then. But look at this. This is I think this was 100 and something trades. All these trades, and you see what I was doing. Oh, and also notice the moment I set that stop loss, huge loss. All right, and you can go down here, and for every stop loss I set, you can see that loss. All right, so you can see what I was doing. 4 cents here, that was a loss because of 6-cent commission, but 77 cents, 10 cents. So I'm just trying to basically scalp the market. I didn't really know how to trade, you know, completely at that point, but I wanted to try just scalping the market because the market was so volatile. I figured, you know, if I place a trade, it has to run back through this level at some point because it's so volatile. And that thinking would have worked if everything was just straightforward and on the up and up, but of course it's not. So they're roll with it. So anyway, I tried that before, and I actually deposited $100 in this account. And when the statement came out, The balance was, you know, at $64. I was holding trade, so the equity is at $50.16. And I mean, it's no surprise what ended up happening with this account. This account ended up blown. We can go back to, let's see, February. Oh, okay, we're way ahead here. Let's jump way back. All right, so if we just fast forward here to, and I think I put more money into the account, and I don't know when I did that, but here we go right here. I had $100 in the account and just blew it. And I'm still trading the same strategy, same way, trying to scalp the market, not knowing that, you know, the odds were stacked against me like they were. All right, so now let's pull up a video because remember I told you guys that I was not able to find the, here, let's go over this first before I show you this video. All right, so the delay, let's talk about the delay real quick. So they can delay the market. This says 1 to 5 seconds, but I believe these parameters are different. They can actually delay the market for a set period of time. So by the time you actually get in thinking, you know, the market is at one place, it could already be like, you can get in at a sell and the market could already be 5 seconds ahead of you and it's climbed way up, and you know, you can just, and before you know it, price will just start popping up real quick on you, and all of a sudden you'll think, man, as soon as I entered that trade, price just shot up against me. That's because they can do something called a delay, and they can freeze the market. A lot of people call it freezing the market. And then this right here is where you get the slippage or whatever. This just is where they set the slippage, and I'll show you that video in just a minute. So just wanted to go over that real quick. That's one of their configurations. So let's go back over here to the video. And what we talked about earlier and seeing in that user manual, that is the same controls right here. So if they entered the market, and this person actually entered the market at 0.936, I don't know what it was, and when they hit this button, it basically stole pips from them. And I'll show you that in just a second here. All right, that's what they wanted to enter the market at. You see that? 0.93698 is what they wanted to enter the market at. They hit this button and they put the order through after stealing pips from this person. And look at this. Now that person initially put that order through at 0.93698. A lot of times, guys, when we're placing trades, we don't even pay attention to this right here. We automatically assume that it is basically where price was when we hit the button. We don't really pay attention to it, but I challenge you guys to take a look at that the next time you hit the sell or the buy button, and make sure that this right here is where you want it, especially if price is froze. If price is froze at a level and you hit the button and price hasn't moved, but this all of a sudden is much different, then you know that you're being manipulated and somebody's watching you, of course, and to be very, very careful. All right, so that's that. And let me show you another thing. We talked about this button right here where they reject, how it says off quotes. Let me show you what that looks like, because I've gotten this message a lot of times. All right, they just reject. Look, off quotes. They don't want this person to place a trade at that level. You guys see that? They do not want that. They did not want the person to place a trade at this level, so they just rejected it. Simple as that. And it said off quotes. All right. So this last thing we need to talk about here is stop hunting. This is where they manipulate the price, and this is why you should never. All right, I won't say you will never, but you should never place a take profit or a stop loss. Never. Do not do it. If you have to place a take profit or a stop loss, it's best that you just close the trade out. All right, that's just that's what I do. That's just what I would rather do, because I don't want anybody trying to stop hunt me or manipulate me. Just let me take, if I'm in profit especially, let me just take my few dollars and go and run with it, you know, if I can't watch the market. And over time, you know, that cost me a lot of pips, to be honest. If you go back and look at some of the trades I took on the other account, I closed those trades out because I couldn't watch them, even though I felt like it was going to a certain level. And a lot of those trades went to that level and even beyond. Even the trades that I'll show you in just a minute that we took 1 o'clock in the morning. So, all right, so let's take a look at this. This is how somebody gets stop hunted. You see they have the stop loss on the chart. All right, they're in a sell position. This is their stop loss. All right, they're just going to change the price to take that out. That's all they do. There it is. Hit the send button. Person's out. And then he says something to the effect of as easy as that. Right? That's just the way it is. They can manipulate price just like this. I mean, and just take you out. So yes, so if you place a stop loss, there is something called stop hunting, and it is real, and they do implement it. And I'm just showing you that so it just won't be some fantasy thing that somebody's saying when you think about that. So let's see the other parts of this video, guys. If you want to watch this video, it's called How Broker Manipulate MetaTrader Using Plugin, and that plugin is that virtual dealer plugin we've seen in that configuration chart or setting or chart or whatever it was. Let's go back and pull that up. Let me pull that up again for you guys here. Yeah, the virtual dealer plugin is what they use, and that's what that video is. You can go back and watch the video. And let me just show you this. This is the trade we were in last night, or I should say early in the morning. From here to here, we got in at the wrong time. I mean, it does happen, and I'll tell you why I got in. So this right here had bumped up against this 70-period moving average. I was expecting it to go down. That's just a strategy we trade. You guys already know from the previous videos. But I didn't get in on this candle, or even at the end of that candle. I waited. This candle came down, and this is 1:30 a.m. in the morning, or this is the 1 o'clock candle, 1 a.m. And I knew stuff would start to get live within the next hour. But price came back to this level right here, and it was slightly below this support line right here. So I decided to jump in and carry it down to this level. So what happened? It did not come down. It pushed back up to this level right here. So what did I do? I entered the market again, more sell positions, because I built a position. So now we're in this for a maximum of 3 pips. And I said to myself, okay, if this goes up to this level, then we will close a trade. So it went up to this level, and before I knew it, it was at this level. And real quick, as a disclaimer, this did come down here, and I was about $5 or $6 in profit before I can even click on the button to get out of the trade, or even some of the trades. It already shot back up, which is fine. There's no telling what was going on there. Could have been manipulation. But as soon as this popped up and stopped over this level, I jumped out and entered a, you can see here, a buy position. So I pretty much reversed my positions, and instead of going in for $3 a pip, I went in at $4 a pip, because at that point I knew the market was going to shoot. So back to what I was saying. I say that to say this. This was a 1 o'clock candle, 2 o'clock candle, 3 o'clock candle. So I'm looking at this, and I'm in a trade at 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, so price is coming up here. I feel like price is going to come all the way back to this level right here. I actually had this marked on the chart at one point. So what I wanted to do is get out slightly before this area. But when this candle came up to here, it was right here. It pulled back a little bit, and it was, fluctuating up between this little area right here. It did not break, or wasn't showing me that it was breaking. And I wanted to put a stop loss, or I'm sorry, I wanted to put a take profit here and a stop loss maybe up under this level. And I wanted to go to sleep and wake up and, be in profit. But because the market is manipulated, I did not place a stop loss or a take profit. I just sat here very, very tired, and I just got out of the market when it came up to this area right here. And then, at that point I was hyped. So, I had placed these trades. I made all my money back that I gave up on the previous losses. And I just kind of played around with the market here, just trying to see what the market was doing, to see if I hit that button, if the market would shoot down. And it's funny that we're talking about this manipulation video today, because what actually happened on this trade is when the market was down here, as soon as I pressed that button to buy that position, I'm sorry, to sell that position, this is back when the losses occurred. As soon as I pressed that button, the market was down here. It was a thick red bar at that point. It didn't look like this, nothing like it. Thick red bar. There was no wick up here or anything. Thick red bar. As soon as I hit that button, the market just popped right up. It's almost like when I pressed that button, I triggered something in the market that says, okay, there you go, jump up. Now you're at a loss. So I feel like that was manipulation. Now, what strategy of manipulation it was, it could have just been a part of the slippage to where, they had it set to when I placed a trade, it took a certain number of pips away from me, and that's kind of how it would look. It would look like, you wouldn't see, you would just see you place a trade and then you're filled at a worse position. All right, that's how it would look to you. And I think that's what happened to me last night. And that's also what happened to me back here on these other losses right here. But as you would notice, and I think you may need to go back and watch the video that says trading Forex with $100. We did the exact same thing. The market came up, closed against us, and then we reversed our position and went north. And same thing, same results. We got all of our money back that we lost plus more, which is exactly what we did here. So anyway, be sure to go back and watch that video, how to trade Forex with $100, if you haven't seen that video already, because this account started with only 50 bucks. We took it up to 106 or 100 bucks, or slightly over 100 bucks, and then we made that how to trade Forex with $100 video, which kind of explains how we got the account from 106 to 212, and then the trades last night that we played around with got us up to 217. So, and as you can see, and remember, I was in at $4 a pip, and I got out, I believe it was right, I honestly believe it was right here, and then from there the market just shot all the way up here. So alright, so that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it added value to you, and I hope it encouraged you to be very careful with your stop losses and your take profits, and I hope it let you know that Forex is a very, very manipulative market, and to be very careful when you're trading. Alright, peace.